and he's got to show off to start the show, but that's okay. When we've got a minister, a real estate investor, a brand new YouTuber, a 4-time world record holder, and most importantly, a Harlem Globetrotter, we will let him do that. Zeus McClurkin's in the studio today ahead of their April 17th matinee at the GFL Memorial Gardens. So Zeus, thank you so much for coming in. We really do appreciate you giving us some of your time today.
Alex, thanks for having me.
So I'm sure the origin story of how you got into basketball, I'm sure you've said it enough times where it's probably rinse and repeat, but tell me, how did multiple glasses of milk get you into this seat here today?
Well, it was a series of fortunate events. I wasn't very good in basketball growing up. I didn't make my first team until the 11th grade. Got cut from 6th grade all the way to 10th grade, and then that summer was when I really had this milk infatuation, and I ended up growing 5 inches over that summer. So finally was tall enough to play basketball, but I still lacked the skill. And a lot of my coaches and teammates said the same thing to me. They said I was too nice. And nowadays people say you got to have that killer instinct in order to be good in basketball, which I never developed. I was a really nice basketball player. I was the type of guy, if I fire you, Alex, I apologize for it.
Oh, for sure. Right?
Yeah, and my coaches hated that about me. But it was only later on in life when that kind of boded well for me, because I've always been that nice person, and the Harlem Globetrotters paid me to be the type of person that I am. And I've never seen a brand of basketball like this where I'm allowed to just be free on the court and be nice and go up into the stands and bring people down and spin the ball on their finger. Like it was a great opportunity when I did finally get that opportunity.
And when it comes to the Harlem Globetrotters, you were playing professional basketball at North Carolina with the Aggies.
Yeah.
When it comes to transitioning from a competitive style of basketball to being a Harlem Globetrotter and kind of being a little bit more showing off, kind of having more fun with the fans, what was the hardest part you found transitioning from competitive to more of having fun, like you were saying?
It's a different type of competition now.
Yes.
So it's still competitive, but what I noticed was that I was just more free now. You know, I would get in trouble for things like, I was just looking at it today. I've been on SportsCenter Top 10 plays 5 times in my career.
Not bragging.
4 times were with the Harlem Globetrotters, but the one time, my first time was in college. And after I dunked the ball, I went up into the stands and my coach subbed me out right after that because I was kind of, getting into it a little bit too much. But now I get an opportunity to be myself and do that.
And what's the most rewarding part of being a Harlem Globetrotter? Obviously, seeing those faces on the kids must be one of them, but all of the different things you do going all over the world, I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah, so, I mean, to be a Globetrotter, you got to be a great basketball player first, but you have to also be a good person. Like, one of my favorite parts is the things that we do off the court. Like, earlier today, we were at a children's hospital. Later on, we're going to see some kids, and we're going to be talking to them about anti-bullying, because, bullying is still a huge epidemic nowadays in schools, and our hopes are to help eradicate bullying altogether. So the messages that we spread throughout each community, that's what's really important about being a Globetrotter.
Very true. And where have you spread this message? You told me before we started this interview, 25 countries. Can you tell me a few of your favorite places, maybe a little bit of that?
Well, besides Sault Ste. Marie, my favorite place to visit has to be Israel. I got a chance to walk the streets of Jerusalem, and being a minister, that place holds a lot of history for me. Also Paris, I've seen the Eiffel Tower. Funny story about that is I tried to take my basketball up there and they wouldn't let me.
Why not?
Well, they thought I was going to shoot a trick shot for a bit. But
were you not going to? This guy's hit trick shots off of buildings and arenas, off the scaffolding, off of a roller coaster just a couple of days ago, which is super cool. Why wouldn't they let you do it at the Eiffel Tower?
I don't know what gave him that impression.
I wonder, eh? Not YouTube, nothing like that. So we do have a couple of pictures, and I want to see you give me a little bit of context to the background of them. So Dan, if you could please throw up the first photo for us, that'd be great. And you'll be looking right over here at this monitor over there. Here we go. So this is you in the Philadelphia Flyers locker room with Wayne Simmons. Now, Wayne Simmons played his junior hockey here before he went to the Flyers, or LA, then traded to the Flyers. But regardless, what's going on in this photo here?
So I asked Wayne, I said, can you spin the ball on your finger? And he said he's never played basketball. So I said, okay, don't worry, I'll take care of it all. Just hold your hockey stick in the air and I'll see if I can spin it on that. That was one of my first times ever spinning on a hockey stick.
And what are some of the different things you've spun on? I've seen fingers, I've seen, you name it, there has been a ball spun on it by a Harlem Globetrotter. So what are some of the odd things that people have asked you to spin on?
A hockey puck, the heel of a woman's shoe.
I've seen a bowling pin one time.
Oh yeah, bowling pins. Those, now those are tough because they're more round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geez, I spend it on anything, basically. If it has a point, I can spend it on it.
Okay, for sure. And the second picture is one of the world records that you've set. Can you give us a little bit of context to what they are? I know one of them's for most slam dunks under a minute and most three-pointers behind the back in a minute, I believe.
Yes, and that one you're looking at right there is either the most slam dunks in a minute or the most behind the back three-pointers in 1 minute. I also have the most bounce three-pointers in 1 minute. I made 3 of those in 1 minute. Now, the one I'm most proud of is my most recent, and that is the most blindfolded slam dunks in 1 minute. I made 5 blindfolded slam dunks.
And what goes into a blindfolded slam dunk? Are you like kind of putting your hand out trying to feel where you're going, or?
Kinda. I mean, basically it is a shot in the dark. So I have to run behind the free throw line in between every attempt.
Okay.
Now, so I had my headband on as my blindfold, and my teammate was right directly under the rim. I would just walk into him, and whenever I ran into the ball, I knew it was time to just go straight up and dunk it. So it was a lot of guesswork and a lot of faith in my teammate for standing in the right place. But got the blindfolded bird box challenge before it was a thing.
And you are 6'8"?
Yep, 6'8".
With your wingspan straight up, how far are you away from the rim just standing there?
Oh, probably what, a foot?
My goodness. I'm tall too. We're sitting at the same height. I'm not 5'9". That's not the case. But coming ahead is the show you're putting on here at the GFL Memorial Gardens. April 17th. If you haven't gotten your tickets already, you better do that. I'm going to be there watching, cheering them on. What would you say to someone that's kind of on the fence of, I don't know if I want to go? What would you say to get that butt in that seat?
Oh, I would say, we're an indoor game, which is the best thing about our games. And
especially in Canada.
Cold here. You guys still have like snowbanks that are taller than me. So why not come on inside and have a great time with us? You don't have to be a basketball fan to enjoy our game. You just have to be a fan of having fun and enjoying your time with your family and friends. You can go to harlemglobetrotters.ca. You can grab tickets for the game. You can see some amazing content of my teammates and I doing some really cool things. And we'll guarantee that you guys will have a great time.
And here's a plug for your YouTube channel. You just started it out. What kind of things are you doing on there?
Oh, a ton of things. You're going to see trick shots, real estate information. My wife and I are doing some cool relationship videos that are pretty awesome as well. And just little collaborations with all these mega influencers that I get a chance to meet while I'm playing with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Zeus, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Like I said, April 17th, GFL Memorial Gardens. Make sure you get your tickets, and there'll be more on TV right after this.